Good evening, Xiaoshun.
Wang Shanghao, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
How is...
My own...
What are you doing? That's giving out medicine. How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed.
Why don't you...
I thought...
Why...
I am a woman of...
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
I've no doubt. That is a wise and useful attitude in this part of town.
To be completely honest with you, I am also doing this for myself. If I'm destined to survive this epidemic, I need my life to have some purpose.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
How do you feel, physically speaking? You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye for now.
Can be the answer. Good evening, my dear colleague.
How is the...
When people...
I'd like to see what... Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Yes?
How is the
We hope.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Good evening, nurse. How should I address you? Dorothy? Dorothea? Miss Crane?
Dorothy is all right. If you don't mind me calling you Jonathan.
That's fine with me.
What can I do for you then, Jonathan?
How is the sanitary situation? How are things going?
The dispenser?
Yes.
No.
How are things going?
The dispenser?
Yes.
No.
Do you need medical help, Dorothy?
I'm a professional nurse. Rest assured, I'll ask for your...
Do you trust me?
You forced me to resign after you caught me trying to save a dying patient.
Are you not afraid of dying? The epidemic...
I'm more...
I hope you've stopped jeopardizing.
Yes,
Why did you Who is the current victim?
I would rather you did not know. You are my client, not my accomplice. Besides, I'm much more cautious since the first time you found me.
Tell me about yourself, Dorothy.
There is not much to say.
Do you regret your time at Pembroke?
I miss the energy. There was so much to do, so much to learn.
Do you think about going back to Romania? Once the war...
Jonathan...
Show me what you have in...
Welcome back, Jonathan. Do you...
Show me what you...
It's locked, all right.
Money.
Come on, Barrett, you know.
Fancy bar.
You never lose... How...
When there's more
How is
business,
I see.
it's no secret.
As a merc...
What you mean,
Violence...
Yeah.
Where did this...
In the clothes.
Have you been hurt?
No.
Do you need help?
To be honest.
I don't quite agree, but I won't argue with you. Please, take this.
Really?
Right then. Show me what you have.
You again?
Can I offer you?
Keep your...
There is a thing...
All right.
How is...
I'm not eating.
How did you become the local bully everyone...
There's no
A job?
I got enlisted.
You survive at any cost.
I don't care.
I'm not sure...
Oh, do you...
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never... Joe Peterson.
I've known
What can you tell?
Colossus.
It's never...
We've all had...
and no one...
No, but...
That's all. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions.
Sorry, no.
Your father is worried about you.
So my father... Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
have you...
I don't...
How do...
My father...
Forgive my...
Why
You have a roof?
That's exact...
If life here... So that's...
I'm not afraid.
Your
I
father...
was young.
Have you tried speaking?
I don't go...
But you...
Am I not?
Do you need any medical...
Yes, I do.
You'll feel better with...
I'm not.
Goodbye, young...
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
You're late. Where's my money?
Fancy buying something, sir?
What do you know?
Harry's a...
What trouble?
Despite...
That's all.
Cheap price,
You again?
good quality. Come on, take a
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
I've always...
You really...
He's my...
Do you have it?
Only...
Since the criminal...
No one will...
Goodbye, Mr.
cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
goodbye, young man.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
It's locked.
Soaked with glue.
Good evening, Christina. Could this be the scarf you lost, Miss Popper?
It is much more than a scarf to me.
How are the conditions?
When I...
Do you need any assistance? I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my...
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening.
It's far.
Have you any friend?
No.
Where did you send?
I...
You sent him on some preaching cruise.
As a...
How is...
Don't...
What?
All
Quite...
are you?
Well,
As a dog...
what do you mean?
The beast.
Really?
We must...
What is...
Cleanse...
Tell me, Tobias.
God.
Fire is just the instinct.
You're lag...
You're mad.
How come...
What are you talking
The
about?
vicar of...
Tell me the
fate.
I only...
Do you not?
I believe...
Armor...
What do you mean?
All
Quite a...
But you...
I am. Don't you
Fate.
Very well. I have heard enough for tonight. Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
Please forgive me, my lord, for my eyes were blind to the devil in front of me. My task will remain unachieved.
Good evening, Mr. Nithicott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention?
It may...
I understand your...
The new...
How is this?
I imagine...
I'll leave you... Hello again, miss. Tell me about... You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. Very well.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you need it?
That would be no...
I will see you later. How are... And you're not...
Emptied...
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work.
Of course...
Do you think...
I believe...
Goodbye, Mr. I cannot enter. It's locked.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Get them weapons ready! Die, vermin! Burn it, boys! There's one of them.
So Priwen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Christ, he's dead!
I cannot enter. Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence. It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked. Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? Are you sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession. Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theatre. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
How dare you judge me? Must I name the alarming list of your victims?
We are both deceivers. But at least I know I'm a monster.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Yes, your death is imminent, Dr. Swansea. But I swear, it will be quick.
I already told you to call me Edgar. Am I no longer your friend?
I believe you never have been, sir. You have lied to me at every step and betrayed the trust of a woman I cherish.
You and the lady? Really? Well, I should have seen it coming, I suppose. May I add that I welcome this? The biting, I mean.
You have your wish.
Is it going to hurt? I always wondered.
So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Filthy piece of shit! Sorry, sir. No admittance. Over there! There's one of them. Did you hear me? Die! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Oh, Christ! Don't you know?